So the reason we decided to end Optimo as a weekly club was it just kind of felt like the right time to move on and devote that energy to doing other things. We'd loved every second of it, but it was such an enormous amount of work every week, and there was other things that we wanted to do. We kind of wanted the club to end on a high rather than dwindle away.
We go away most Fridays, Saturdays, back on a Sunday. We were playing every Sunday night for years and years and years, and then I guess you lose most of Monday, and then the week's pretty short, going away on a Friday again. And if you consider that we did really everything for our Optimo, the weekly club. We did
everything except hand out the flyers.
We still run the Sundays at the club there as hung up, although we don't play every week, which is nice. We get the chance to play, in there maybe once a month. Keith will play once a month. I'll play. We can also now invite. We didn't book DJs before. We only booked bands, and we would be there to DJ every week. And now we're kind of returning a lot of favours and inviting a lot of our friends locally and internationally to come and play at the club. And like Tim Sweeney's playing from Beats and Spaces playing this Sunday.
Fabric Mix 52, which was our mix under Optimo Spazio, came about simply because we were asked to do it. We had a long relationship with Fabric, played there many times in all the rooms, and we change what we play depending where we are. We're not very militant, and this is our sound, this is what we're going to play, which makes it more enjoyable for us. We get to play in different environments. Quite often when we play at Fabric, we play in room 2, which is a certain kind of sound that works best there, and I think our original idea was to reflect perhaps what one of our sets in room 2 would sound like.
Well, we've got plenty of guys, plenty of guys.
I think the Sub Club were approached about putting together a stage, and they invited us to come out. Never been to Croatia, heard so many good things about it, heard so many good things about the festivals that have gone on there over the summer. So we kind of jumped at the chance of going. Yeah, and then I think the way it works is they have kind of like early evening boat trips and then boat parties, and then the boat comes back in, and then they have a later night, kind of different stages open. I know lots of people that are going. A surprising number of people I know from all over the place seem to be super psyched to make the effort to go there, and as their summer home.
Matt Isaguayo was playing. He played with us in Glasgow a while ago. Really
refreshing, entertaining, one of our favourite, I think, things that we've put on in a long time, and a super nice guy. So look forward to seeing him or kind of Glasgow cohorts. Gigging pretty much right through. We're going quite a few gigs in the south of France, and in August we go off. I do the west coast of America, and Johnny's going to do Mexico, and then we'll hook up together on the east coast and play in Philly and New York. Then I think in September, hopefully, we're going to Brazil and Chile, and then I think towards the end of the year we're going to go back to Australia and do another tour around Australia. And in between we can do gigs all over around the UK and around Europe, but usually kind of like there and back rather than going away for extended trips. Something I always kind of wanted to do was work in the studio with bands, so then almost immediately the opportunity came up, and I've been working with the Glasgow band Sons and Daughters. And we've done a couple of songs. We're going to go back in the studio and do some more in a couple of weeks. I'm also going to do the same with this band from San Francisco called Tussle. Apart from that, I've been working on remixes. I just remixed for this band from the Congo called Kuru Number One. I'm working with this on this remix for this band from Indonesia, and this band from New York called Command 5.
I think I'm looking after my children, doing the school run, making the packed lunches, and working in the studio a bit, yeah, working And I've got a project called Non Gabo with an old friend of mine, James Savage, and we did some releases on Compact a few years ago, and we did a couple of releases last year with some other labels, but I think we're going to release some more original stuff. Maybe not do so many remixes. Working with a couple of labels, one label Fright from Cologne, and possibly a release with a label called International Feel in Uruguay.
I also run our label Optimo Music, and we have some releases coming up from Chris Carter and Throbbing Gristle and Space System, this band also from Indonesia, and various other projects. I'm also hoping to work with Edinburgh techno bass guy Neil Landstrom. We've kind of got a collaboration in mind, and then hopefully Johnny and I will work on some music together at long last, and hopefully I'll work on some of my own music. So yeah, keeping busy.
One day in particular, I think it was the week after the last party, and I was feeling very reflective and quite emotional about the whole thing. And there was one day in particular that two strangers approached me in the street and wished me a happy retirement. You know, one guy came out of an Italian restaurant at the bottom of the street and wished me all the best. And somebody else I met in the coffee shop said I was at the last party, and I just, you know, I hope you enjoy your retirement.
The other weird thing was people would go, "Oh, I'm so sorry," like you'd been made redundant or something. Really sorry. Why are you sorry? It was our choice. It's not like we were booted out onto the street.
Yeah, maybe we should go on the record and say Optimo's, you know, alive and well. It's just
not weekly in Glasgow.
It's not a weekly party anymore. Yeah.